Okay, ji. So today's topic is regarding switching techniques. Now, what are switching techniques all about? In simple words, when data is transferred over a network, uh, and when it originates from a source and it has to get to a destination, it may take different routes along the way. We have spoken about that in the past as well, that uh, depending upon the destination and the availability of a certain route, the data may take a different route to get to its destination. The destination would be common, okay, but the route that the data may take could vary or could change. And what does that basically depend upon? That depends upon the availability of the route, okay, because uh, it could be a situation where your one route that the data may have to follow has more data traffic on it, okay, and it is more occupied or it is more congested. Now, you do know that routers that are usually used along the way when data is being transmitted from one computer to the other over a network. These routers are intelligent devices and they usually hold a detail of routing tables with them. And when data arrives to a certain router basically क्या होता है एक intermediary device है. The data will get to that, a particular router, and from there it is going to route it to some other direction, and then it is going to get to another router maybe, and then that is going to decide about the next route that the data must take before it arrives at its destination. All right, so there are multiple types of switching techniques used to transfer data from the source to the destination. Okay, so what are those three different types of switching techniques? Well, one of them is circuit switching, then there is message switching, and finally packet switching. There are three different types of switching techniques. So that is what we are going to be looking at here. So what does it say here? It says in large networks, there are multiple paths from sender to receiver. The switching technique will decide the best route for data transmission. Okay, so this is what I was referring to. It says in large networks, basically, when it comes to the internet or intranets, there can be multiple paths from sender to receiver. The switching techniques will decide the best route for data transmission. Okay, so what are the three types? Circuit, message, and packet switching. Let's have a look at these one by one. Now let's see what is circuit switching. Let's look at one point at a time. Okay, circuit switching is a switching technique that establishes a dedicated path between sender and receiver. In the circuit switching technique, once the connection is established, then the dedicated path will remain to exist until the connection is terminated. Dedicated path means that the route or the path is allocated to a certain data while it is being transmitted. वो एक dedicated path allocate हो जाएगा और उसके ऊपर data जो वो transmit होगा, and it would remain till the data transfer takes place. जब data transfer complete हो जाएगा, when it is completed, then of course the route or the path can be terminated. That is what it is saying. Circuit switching is a network. Circuit switching in a network operates in a similar way as the telephone works. A complete end-to-end path must exist before the communication takes place. In case of circuit switching technique, when any user wants to send the data, voice, video, a request signal is sent to the receiver. Then the receiver sends back the acknowledgement to ensure the availability of the dedicated path. After receiving the acknowledgement, dedicated path transfers the data. Circuit switching is used in public telephone network. It is used for voice transmission. Fixed data can be transferred at a time in circuit switching technology. So the best example that we can think of in terms of circuit switching is the landline telephone system. अब लैंडलाइन टेलीफोन सिस्टम में बेसिकली क्या होता है? There is a dedicated path that is established between two devices. All right, one is the sender and the other is the recipient. अगर आप एक कॉल मिलाते हैं किसी एक नंबर को, तो आप सेंडर है और दूसरा जो है वो recipient है. This dedicated path would remain established till the communication is going on. All right, and for this dedicated path to be released or relieved, okay, both the sender and the recipient have to sort of put their phones down, ताकि आपकी जो लाइन है वो डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाए, वो जो एक डेडिकेटेड पाथ एस्टैब्लिश हुआ था वो डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाए. एंड ऑफ कोर्स that is a formal way of ending the communication. All right, so this is one example of circuit switching. Okay, so how does it basically take place? It takes place in three phases. One is, the first step is circuit establishment. Pehle circuit establish hoga. The next step is data transfer. Once the circuit has been established, only then can data transfer can start taking place. And then lastly, circuit disconnect or disconnection. Jab aapka data transfer ho gaya, once the data has been transmitted, then the circuit has to be formally disconnected. Acha, have a look at this diagram. So if there's a device A, okay, from which the data transfer has to be initiated, and it has to get to device B over a network, you could see that there's a dedicated path that is established between, or a dedicated connection that is established between the two devices A and B, okay, and you could see that the data transfer is taking place along this dedicated path. It would always actually take this path because this is the path that has been allocated for this particular transmission. All right. What are the advantages of circuit switching? Well, in the case of circuit switching technique, the communication channel is dedicated, so that is always good. It has a fixed bandwidth, so whatever bandwidth that is available, bandwidth को हमने कल discuss किया था class में. कि bandwidth क्या होती है? What is the difference between bandwidth and bit rate? So it has a कल हमने we discussed what is the difference between bandwidth and bit rate, and we looked at optical communication methods that included rather detailed discussion on Bluetooth technology, fiber optics, and laser communication. Okay, those are optical methods of data transmission. And then other than that, we discussed the difference between bandwidth and bit rate. क्योंकि ये दो terms हैं जो कि in terms of data transfer over a network, they are used quite a lot. You know, we are talking about bandwidth or bit rate quite a bit. So we were talking about this yesterday, that many people tend to confuse these two, but actually they have a little difference between them. So that is what we were discussing. What are the disadvantages? Once the dedicated path is established, the only delay occurs in the speed of data transmission. It takes a long time to establish a connection, approximately 10 seconds, during which no data can be transmitted. It is more expensive than other switching techniques, as a dedicated path is required for each connection. It is inefficient to use because once the path is established and no data is transferred, then the capacity of the path is wasted. So a connection should only be established when the communication has to take place. If not, आपका क्योंकि 3 steps में काम करता है ना, establishment of connection, transfer of data, and third is disconnection. So once the path has been established and the data is not being transmitted, then that particular path that has been established, uski bandwidth zaya ho rahi hai, okay? Because it would only be utilized when data is actually sent over that path. Okay, in this case, the connection is dedicated, therefore no other data can be transferred even if the channel is free. So वही बात है कि once the connection has been established, and if no data transfer is taking place, you cannot use it for any other data transfer at that particular moment, till of course that that particular connection is relieved. जब आप उसको disconnect करेंगे फिर वो दोबारा से available होगा for a different type of data transmission. जी, इसका यूज लिमिटेड है, इसका यूज बहुत ज्यादा नहीं, क्योंकि आप देखें ना कि how much are we making use of although public telephone network is still being used, landline system, but there are other alternatives of communication now available. Yeah, so इसलिए अभी हम जब देखेंगे message switching को और particularly packet switching, which is the most popular of them all, तो फिर आप realize करेंगे कि what is the difference really? Okay, so why does it have certain limitations? Now, what is message switching? Message switching is a switching technique in which a message is transferred as a complete unit and routed through intermediate nodes at which it is stored and forwarded. In message switching technique, there is no establishment of a dedicated path between the sender and the receiver. The destination address is appended to the message. Message switching provides a dynamic routing as the message is routed through the intermediate nodes based on the information available in the message. So up till this point, with message switching, there is no concept of establishment of a dedicated path between the sender and the recipient. Okay, because the data, when it is transferred and arrives at an intermediate point such as a router, okay, the router would first receive the message, collect it all together. ये जरूरी है इस केस में, message switching के केस में, कि before a message is forwarded to the next point or to the next node in the network, the entire message has been received. That is where the terms stored and forwarded are being used. और इस तरह की switching को ना store and forward switching technique भी कहते हैं, in casually, but it is actually message switching. So as I said, while it is being transmitted, अगर हम इस diagram को देखें, तो originating from A and has to arrive at B. Yeah. So when the message is transmitted, what happens is that along the way, ये आप समझ लो कि ये individual nodes हैं, where individual routers हैं. When the message gets here, it has to completely arrive here before it can be forwarded to the next destination. और आप देखें कि routes जो है वो change हो सकते हैं, again depending upon the availability of the most efficient route that can be used to send the message. And this is different from the way it was in case of circuit switching. ठीक है? So store and forward. इधर store होगा completely, फिर forward होगा, फिर यहाँ पे पूरा message पहले receive होगा, store होगा, फिर forward होगा to the next most efficient route available. And why is this possible, and how is this possible? Because even if a message is broken down into parts, every part of the message has the destination address in it. Okay, that is why when the a part of the message is received at any intermediate node such as a router, okay, it would assemble it all and then it would know what the destination is. Destination ka pata hai. So what is the most efficient route that is available at that point in time for this message to be forwarded to the next point, okay, from where it can get to its destination. So no establishment of a dedicated route in advance, depends upon the situation. Message switches are programmed in such a way so that they can provide the most efficient routes. यही अभी हम बात कर रहे थे. Each and every node stores the entire message and then forward it to the next node. Entire message would be received, only then would it be forwarded. ऐसा नहीं है कि देखें अगर एक message है वो broken down into 2 parts या 3 parts or more. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक part receive हुआ तो जैसे ही कोई next route available हुआ तो उसको forward हो जाएगा, नहीं. उसी पैसेज के जो रिमेनिंग पार्ट्स हैं पहले वो रिसीव होंगे, पहले दे वुड अराइव, दे वुड असेंबल, कंप्लीट एंड देन अगेन फॉरवर्डेड. to the next destination. Okay, Ji. Message switching treats each message as an independent entity. So because it can do that because every message has the source and the destination address in it. Okay, so आप उसको अलग-अलग treat कर सकते हैं because it has the required information regarding where it has to arrive at. What are the advantages? Data channels are shared among the communicating devices that improve the efficiency of using available bandwidth. Traffic congestion can be reduced because the message is temporarily stored in the nodes. Message priority can be used to manage the network. The size of the message which is sent over the network can be varied. Therefore, it supports the data of unlimited size. Our message ka size different ho sakta hai, depending upon what the message is. So there is no classification of, you could say, a predetermined bandwidth that would be needed. Yeah, kabhi kam bandwidth chahiye hogi, zyada bandwidth chahiye hogi. So depending upon the size of the message, it can be routed then. Disadvantages: the message switches must be equipped with sufficient storage to enable them to store the message until the message is forwarded. ये जो message switches है ना, ये switches की जो बात हो रही है, आप simply इसको routers कह सकते हैं, ठीक है? They must have storage capability or enough storage capability to be able to store a message completely before it can be forwarded. The long delay can occur due to the storing and forwarding facility provided by the message switching technique. So message switching may, this is one of the negatives of it, that it tends to be more time consuming, because unless the entire message is received at a certain switch or a router, it would not be forwarded to the next point. All right, that tends to delay communication. So that is why you can say that message switching is not the ideal switching technique to be used in situations where the data requires quick processing, such as real-time systems. Real-time systems where quick processing is needed. Okay? So या आप समझो live streaming of data जैसे होता है, उसके लिए message switching is not ideal. So message switching use कहाँ पे होती है? In the simplest example that we can think about in today's in today's day and age is sending of emails. Emails can make use of message switching क्योंकि emails में ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि there's no need of a real-time processing or very quick arrival or access to data. ऐसे ही है ना, emails can take their time to get to their destination. जब वो destination पे पहुंच जाएंगी, तो the recipient can access the email and look at it. Okay, so there's no need for a quick transmission of such data. It can take time. It is okay. Okay, now what is packet switching? Okay, see, lastly, we have packet switching, which is actually the most common and the most sought after or the most popular switching technique that is being used nowadays. All right. So what is packet switching all about? इसमें वही सारी our discussion regarding how data is transmitted, जो data packets का concept है, that when data has to be transmitted, it has to be divided into smaller chunks known as packets. Okay, every packet has its own information. जैसे हम बात कर रहे थे कि a packet comprises of the actual data, as well as it has a header and it has a trailer that contain metadata, and metadata is data about that data packet. Okay, such as its source address, its destination address, its sequence number, the number of packets that there are in one single data item has been divided into. So all that information is there, which is part of metadata. Okay, so what is packet switching? The packet switching is a switching technique in which the message is sent in one go, but it is divided into smaller pieces and they are sent individually. The message splits into smaller pieces known as packets, and packets are given a unique number to identify their order at the receiving end. This is what the sequence number is. Every single data packet, which is part of the entire data set, has a unique sequence number that is its identification that helps in putting it in the right order in the message or in the text. आपका जो पूरे का पूरा मैसेज है वो डिवाइड हुआ है ना, लेकिन ये जरूरी है कि the message when arrives at the destination, it is in the right sequence or in the right order. And you remember that we were talking about this, that when data is transmitted, every packet may take a different route. One packet may take a shorter route, the other packet may take a longer route. Okay, so ये हो सकता है कि a packet that was sent earlier took a longer route because of the availability, okay, and a packet that was sent afterwards took a shorter route. तो जो पैकेट बाद में भेजा है वो पहले पहुंच गया, और जो पहले भेजा था वो बाद में पहुंचा. So when those packets arrive at the destination, they may not be in the right sequence. Okay, so if they are not in the right sequence and they are received in that order, then that would only be jumbled up information. It would not make any sense. So before it is really received, based on the sequence number, okay, and of course, knowing how many packets there were in this particular entire data set, they have to be put in the right order, and then they get received at the recipient's end. Okay, every packet contains some information in its headers, such as source address, destination address, sequence number. यही बात हम कर रहे थे, and of course, it might also contain information regarding the total number of packets in that particular data set. Packets will travel across network taking the shortest path possible. All the packets are reassembled at the receiving end in the correct order. Okay. If any packet is missing or corrupted, then the message will be sent to resend the message. If the correct order of the packets is reached, then the acknowledgement message will be sent. अच्छा ये होता है कि देखें, once all the packets in an entire data set have been received, then an acknowledgement message will have to be sent from the recipient to the sender, which would be an indication of the fact that the entire message has been completely and accurately received. अच्छा, अब ये हो सकता है कि due to any reason, a certain data packet may go missing during transmission. And if it goes missing, then this would mean that the message that arrives or the data that arrives at the destination would be incomplete, all right? And you cannot receive it as long as it is incomplete. So होता ये कि थोड़ी देर के लिए wait होता है, यानी जो sender है ना वो wait करेगा acknowledgement receive करने के लिए from the sender, sorry, from the recipient. Sender wait करेगा acknowledgement sent होने का from the recipient थोड़ी देर के लिए, उसका एक time out होता है basically. Once the timeout occurs, okay, then this means that, and an acknowledgement has not been sent, then it would check as to which particular data packet went missing during the transmission. उसकी एक acknowledgement अगर नहीं भेजी, तो फिर वो data packet resend होगा. It is resent, okay? So this process is repeated. As I said, an acknowledgement will only be sent from the recipient to the sender once the entire data set or once the entire message has been received. Okay, have a look at this diagram. So if you look at this, you could see that a message originates from point A and it is divided into 4 packets, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. So 1 or 4 जो हैं वो ये route ले रहे हैं initially, or 2 or 3 are taking this route. Again, when they get to this point, they get split depending upon the availability of the route. यहाँ से यहाँ पे जाते हैं, ठीक है, और ये देखो जो 4 है वो यहाँ से यहाँ पे आ गया. You get it? Okay, because probably this wasn't available, so it gets here. और 1 जो है that went straight and 4 gets here. और अगर आप 3 और 2 को देखें तो 2 जो है that takes this route, 4 is coming from this route all the way, and 3 is already following this route. Yeah. one gets here and then gets here and gets to the destination first. Ideally, packet number 1 should get first, so it gets to the destination first. फिर क्या हुआ? फिर 3 arrive हुआ because 3 ने क्या किया? 3 took this route, यहाँ से यहाँ आया और यहाँ से डायरेक्ट यहाँ पे पहुंच गया. तो 3 को कम टाइम लगा because 4 जो है वो क्या कर रहे हैं? यहाँ पे आया, फिर यहाँ से वो यहाँ पे चला गया, ठीक है? और फिर यहाँ से it gets here and then gets to this point. So it is taking an extra, I would say, an extra longer route, I would say. नहीं, पता नहीं होती. लेकिन ये है कि हो सकता है कि it could be a situation where they give you a diagram like this and they may label the data packets. अब आपसे पूछेंगे जी आपको क्या लगता है कि what would be the sequence of the data packets that arrive at the destination? So आप route को देख के figure out कर सकते हैं कि which data packet would arrive quicker than certain other data packets. So अगर आप 4 को देखें, अगर अब आप 2 को देखें तो 2 यहाँ से जाके फिर यहाँ split हो गया, and then from here it gets here and then gets back here. So 2 gets to the destination the last, because I think 2 took the longest path. There was a lot of zigzag in between. So once the data packets get received in this particular order, it is 1, 3, 4, and 2. It cannot be received like this, because if it is received like this, it would all be jumbled up. It would not make any sense. So what happens is that based on the sequence number that was allocated to every single data packet, it is first going to be reassembled in the right order, and then it is going to get received at this particular point. Yeah, okay. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of this? Okay, cost-effective in packet switching technique, switching devices do not require massive secondary storage to store the packets, so cost is minimized to some extent. Therefore, we can say that the packet switching technique is a cost-effective technique. Reliable, if any node is busy, then the packets can be rerouted. This ensures that the packet switching technique provides reliable communication. There are multiple routes to be taken. Agar ek device kharab hai, intermediate device, या intermediary node या router या switch खराब है, तो फिर there's always an alternative available. Efficient packet switching is an efficient technique. It does not require any established path prior to the transmission, and many users can use the same communication channels simultaneously, hence makes use of reliable bandwidth very efficiently. Because there's no concept of establishment of a dedicated path, okay? So depending upon the availability of the shortest and the most efficient route, it can work like that. So that is why it is considered to be an efficient way of data transmission. Disadvantages: packet switching technique cannot be implemented in those applications that require a low delay and high quality services. The protocols used in packet switching technique are very complex and require high implementation costs. क्योंकि कुछ protocols आगे जाके हम इनको देखेंगे भी. Later on in our discussion, there is an entire topic on many different types of network protocols. Okay, जिसमें TCP, IP, UDP, you name it, बहुत सारी different protocols and we'll talk about them. और फिर हम कुछ protocols की effectiveness या application देखेंगे in different types of data transmission. Which type of protocols or communication protocols are suited for what type of data transmission. Okay, if the network is overloaded or corrupted, then it requires retransmission of lost packets. It can also lead to loss of critical information if errors are not recovered. So this could also be one of the drawbacks of packet switching. Packet switching kahan pe use hoti hai basically? Packet switching is used over LANs and WANs. Basically, packet switching is the main switching technique which is used for data transmission over the internet. Okay, so सबसे ज़्यादा हम as a network हम सबसे ज़्यादा किसको use कर रहे होते हैं? The global network, which is the internet, right? So internet uses packet switching for data transmission. Also, local area networks make use of packet switching, whether it is the internet or the intranet or a local area network. It is packet switching that is used. आपको इंटरनेट और इंट्रानेट में डिफरेंस पता है? Have you heard about these two terms? इंटरनेट का तो आपको पता होगा, इंट्रानेट का पता? टर्म सुनी हुई है इंट्रानेट? What is intranet? Local as in how? पूरी दुनिया में पता नहीं। डेटा लॉस हो गया क्यों जी? Where has the term internet been extracted from, been taken from? Internet. Actually, जो मेरा ये टच पैड है ना, मैं लिख कुछ इसलिए नहीं रहा क्योंकि ये जो नोट्स है ना, ये they are write and edit protected, so आप इसको edit नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए it does not allow me the editing facility here. Okay, so I can use some other means of writing it down for you. इंटरनेट की टर्म निकली है दो वर्ड से, इंटरनेशनल नेटवर्क। International network. The other term that I'm talking about is intranet. और फिर एक एक्स्ट्रानेट भी होता है। एक्स्ट्रानेट की टर्म सुनी नहीं? Intranet stands for internal restricted access network. Extranet does not stand for anything, वो है ही extranet, तो वो so intranet, internal restricted access network. इंटर और इंट्रा की टर्म्स हम वैसे भी यूज करते हैं ना, जैसे इंटर स्कूल का क्या मतलब होता है? इंटर स्कूल डेक्लेमेशन कॉन्टेस्ट क्या मतलब होता है? बिटवीन डिफरेंट स्कूल्स, ऐसा ही है। इंट्रा करते तो नहीं है, ठीक है, लेकिन इंट्रा का मतलब होता है within a certain I would say domain, within a certain organization, let's put it this way. So internet is international network, it's a global network where many different types of computers from all over the world are connected together and they can share data or communicate. Intranet is a network that is established within an organization itself that tends to connect multiple geographical buildings or offices of the same company together with each other. When you form a network like that, that is an example of intranet. Because that is local to a company. It is not local in terms of its geographical presence. It is local in terms of its accessibility and availability. So, जब banks आपस में connect करते हैं, यानी एक particular bank की सारी branches आपस में connect होती हैं, तो that is an intranet. Airline companies have their multiple offices, whether within the same country, different cities, or even overseas, when they get connected together, that would be an intranet. Similarly, अगर schools ऐसे कर लेते हैं या universities ऐसे करती हैं या फिर government organization या departments जो कि आपस में communication के लिए between different offices which are located geographically at different locations, but the network remains within the company or the organization. That is an example of intranet. ठीक है? Extranet, any idea? अच्छा, extranet होता है if a company chooses to give access to some external company, okay, they decide to give access to an external access to their intranet, okay, किसी external company को अगर वो access देना चाहे अपने intranet को, तो extranet बन जाता है। सोचें क्या एग्जाम्पल हो सकता है। समझ आ गई कि एक्स्ट्रानेट होता क्या? अगर इंट्रानेट, एक कंपनी के इंट्रानेट को कंपनी अलाउ करती है कि कोई और एक्सटर्नल एंटिटी, ओके, टू मेक इट बिकम पार्ट ऑफ योर नेटवर्क, ओके, सो दैट दे कैन आल्सो कम्युनिकेट विद यू और यू कैन कम्युनिकेट विद देम, देन दैट मेक्स एन एक्स्ट्रानेट। क्या एग्जाम्पल हो सकती है? पहले तो आप इस एग्जाम्पल को सही तरह से पोर्ट्रे या पुटअप करें क्योंकि इट हैज टू मेक सेंस। हाँ, कुछ कोई या तो कोई कॉन्टेक्स्ट उसका बताए ना। तो एक्स्ट्रा नेट होगा, that would be extra net. क्या चीज? जॉइंट वेंचर्स? किस तरह का जॉइंट वेंचर? एक सिंपल सी एग्जांपल, let's take a very simple example. Any XYZ company involved in manufacturing a certain product, okay, and have their offices or factories connected, through an intranet. अच्छा, अब in order to improve their supply chain, yeah, I don't know आप में से business कौन पढ़ रहा है? तो पढ़ रहा है business, ठीक है? You understand supply chain. In order to improve the supply chain, they feel that they need to remain connected with the suppliers of the raw material on a regular basis, ताकि आपके supply chain में issues ना आए। तो आप ये decide करते हैं कि let's make this particular ABC supplier permanent part of our network so that whenever we wish to communicate with them in terms of placement of orders or whatever, it can be readily done, okay? And we are sharing our data with them, necessary data with them that is essential for them to know so that they can arrange for the required amount of raw material that is needed, okay, by us from time to time. So they're aware of that in advance. So आप कहते हैं कि okay, let's make them part of our setup so that it is easy for them to communicate with us or for us to communicate with them. तो जब आप अपने सप्लायर को अपने इंट्रानेट का पार्ट बना लेते हैं तो फिर एक एक्स्ट्रानेट बन गया। जी, किसका बिजनेस करें? ओके, आप वाकई कह रहे हैं सर, बता रहे हैं या वैसे एग्जांपल दें? ओके, जब वो स्टॉक कम होता है ना, उसकी कॉल आ जाती है आपको और स्टॉक चाहिए कितना चाहिए, तो वो इसके अंदर आएगा। नहीं, आपने उसको कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट किया है मुझे समझ नहीं है, दोबारा से बताएं। You have an Excel sheet, okay, what does that do? जब आप उसको आप एक्सेल शीट उसको भेजते हैं, उसके पास वो एक्सेल शीट अपडेट कैसे होती है? ठीक है, ओके फाइन। इसलिए नहीं हो सकता प्रॉबेबली क्योंकि आप उसके लिए जो आप उसके लिए जो मैकेनिज्म यूज कर रहे हैं दैट इज इंटरनेट। ठीक है ना, मतलब इट इज नॉट अ केस ऑफ some sort of an internal communication which is sort of dedicated to your company and some external company that you are communicating with. All right, मुझे exactly नहीं पता कि आप उसके साथ क्या मैकेनिज्म यूज करते हैं कि जब आप एक्सेल शीट अपनी यहाँ अपडेट करते हैं तो उसके पास अपडेट हो जाती है गूगल ड्राइव पे। अच्छा हाँ, फिर ठीक है, तो वो तो फिर it's a simple case of internet. If it is on Google Drive then yes, बिल्कुल, क्योंकि the interesting thing is that if it is on Google Drive and you update anything, then when you share it with somebody, then that person is going to get the updated information. So ठीक है, लेकिन ये कि वो इंट्रानेट की एग्जांपल में नहीं आएगा, बल्कि इसमें एक और कॉन्सेप्ट आपका इन्वॉल्व हो रहा है। वो कौन सा कॉन्सेप्ट है? नेटवर्क से रिलेटेड, क्लाउड। ठीक है ना, क्लाउड स्टोरेज। और आपको पता होगा कि जो क्लाउड स्टोरेज है वो कोलैबोरेटिव वर्क के लिए भी यूज होता है। कोलैबोरेटिव वर्क इज वेयर मोर देन वन पीपल और एंटिटीज कैन वर्क ऑन अ सर्टेन डेटा आइटम और अ सर्टेन डेटा सेट कोलैबोरेटिवली एट द सेम टाइम। कोलैबोरेशन होती है ना कि इकट्ठे मिलके किसी चीज के ऊपर काम करना, नोट्स एक्सचेंज करना, थॉट्स और आइडियाज जो है वो कम्युनिकेट करना। So that's sort of collaborative work, centrally stored at a point or at a location where it is accessible to anybody who needs it. Okay, so अच्छी बात है। I think that if you're using technology like that in your work, तो आपने खुद ही नोट किया होगा कि how technology you are able to sort of get benefit out of it. You know, otherwise अगर आपको टेक्नोलॉजी का ना पता हो और आपको इन सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स या टूल्स का ना पता हो तो आपके लिए कम्युनिकेशन मुश्किल होगी। और आपने नोटिस किया होगा कि आपकी जो भी एक लिमिटेड सी सप्लाई चेन बनाई हुई है आपने कि आपको कार डिटेलिंग प्रोडक्ट्स जो हैं वो चाहिए होती हैं एंड यू वांट देम इन एडवांस बिकॉज यू डू नॉट वांट टू रन आउट ऑफ अ सर्टेन कार डिटेलिंग प्रोडक्ट। ओके, क्योंकि कस्टमर तो किसी भी वक्त आ सकता है एंड यू शुड हैव सफिशिएंट स्टॉक अवेलेबल विद यू। तो आपको अपने सप्लायर को थोड़ा सा इन एडवांस बताना पड़ेगा क्योंकि वो भी आगे से कहीं से प्रोक्योर करता होगा, उसको कहीं से मंगवाता है, बाहर से मंगवाता है या जहाँ से भी करता है। तो पहले प्रोडक्ट उसके पास आती है, देन इट इज सेंट टू यू और मे बी ही हैज अदर कस्टमर्स एज वेल। तो वो सारा अगर आप उसको इन एडवांस बता दें तो आपकी वो जो चेन है वो डिस्टर्ब नहीं होती एंड you do not fall short of any product that you need, you know, that you need for your car detailing business. नहीं, लिमिटेड हाँ, कंप्लीट एक्सेस ना गिवन होता है और ना हो सकता है बिकॉज दे वुड ओनली बी प्रोवाइडेड इन टर्म्स ऑफ आगे जाके इसका ये नेटवर्क का टॉपिक जो है ना काफी एक्सटेंसिव है। वी हैव अ लॉट टू डू स्टिल इन इट। तो उसमें ये है कि आगे जाके हम कुछ वी वुड बी डिस्कसिंग थिंग्स लाइक you know what are access rights all about in a network. Okay, access rights are all about, basically in simple words, they're about, you know, who in the network is allowed to access what information or what data, and then not only that you are able to access it, who is able to access it and who is not able to access it, but also when you access it, what are you able to do with it? आप उसमें क्या क्या ऑपरेशंस कर सकते हैं और कौन लोग उसके ऊपर ऑपरेशंस नहीं कर सकते। तो any external entity would only be provided access to the data that is needed for them only, that is necessary for them to get their processing done. Okay, जो data उनको चाहिए, and of course all the other data should be kept hidden from them. Okay, so of course they should only be provided access to a limited set of data that is their requirement. Okay, Ji. So are stretching techniques clear to you people? Yeah? Okay, good.